Hi folks, welcome back to MetaBox Tutorials. In today's tutorial, we'll focus on how to display multiple listings on a map using MetaBox. If you own a chain restaurant, coffee shop, or store, or even a company which has different branches in different cities, then you may want to mark up all of them on a single map and show this network on your website. Here is a map like that. There are several listings on the map displayed at the same time. They are all the restaurants in a chain. Each one of them has a custom marker icon. When clicking on the marker, a pop-up is displayed with the restaurant title and address. To have each restaurant displayed in each place, we should save the information about each restaurant in a post of a custom post type, and obviously including its location. But I use custom fields for the location, as you can see here. MetaBox has a field type for displaying an address on OpenStreetMap, and another one for Google Map. So, I'm going to use one of these field types to save the details address of each listing. And this is the field to save the image URL for the marker icon. We should have the MetaBox Core plugin to have a framework to create a custom post type for the listings and custom fields for the locations. You can download it directly from WordPress.org. We also need some MetaBox extensions to have advanced features. You can install them individually or just use MetaBox all-in-one for all. Here are the extensions that we will use in this practice. MB Custom Post Type to create a custom post type for the listings. You may want to use MB Views to create a page template for displaying the listings on the map. In another way, you can add code to the theme's files instead of using this extension. You can choose one of these ways, which I'm going to provide you in this practice. So this extension is just optional. And the last one, MetaBox Builder, to have a UI in the back end to create custom fields easily. Let's get started. Go to MetaBox and create a new post type for your listings. It can be restaurants, company branches, coffee shops, or fashion stores. After publishing, you will see a new menu displayed here. It's your new post type. As mentioned, I'm going to create these 3 fields. Maybe you want more fields for more information. Just add them as you go. But for the demonstration purpose, I just use these ones. Go to MetaBox and create fields. I'll use the OpenStreetMap field for the map. Pay attention to this setting. I have the address field above where I input the location in text. Fill in the ID of this address field into this box. This setting helps to connect the map with the address field. It allows autocomplete the address when you type some text in the address field. As well as, you can pick a location by clicking on the map, or dragging and dropping the marker. To know more about this field type, please dig in our documentation for more detail. After creating all the fields, move to the Settings tab. Remember to choose the location as Post Type and select Restaurant to apply these fields to it. Go to the Post Editor. You will see the created custom fields. Just type some text in the address field. It will suggest some locations with details. Choose one, and the map will display a marker immediately. Set an icon for the marker here. We will apply the icon to the map later. I'm going to have a page for the map only. In your case, you might want to add some content to the page, but I'll skip it to keep this practice simple. We should create a template for the page by adding code to the theme's files, or use any third-party plugin to do it indirectly, or using MBViews. For the first way, you should add some files to the themes folder, and add code to several different files. But with MBViews, just work on a place only for all. Beside that, the template will be no effect when you change the theme. However, I still do it in both ways in this practice. Then you can experiment yourself to find which makes sense to you. Go to your theme folder. And add a new PHP file for the page template. You can name it another way if you want. We'll use some JavaScript for the map, so go to the JS folder. Add a new file. Now, go to the created PHP file and add some code. These are to load the header and footer, just like any other pages in your theme. This is the main content area of the page. It simply shows a div with a specific width and height. This div will be used to display the map via this HTML ID. Now, go to the created page. I'll keep this page blank and add the map later. You will see a template with the name, as we have just created. Choose it. Next, to regulate which content will be displayed on the page, go to Add Code to the theme file. First, add code to the function's PHP file. This is to check if the current page is using the created template. The following lines of code will be applied. This is the name of the PHP file that I have just created. You should replace it with your own. I'm going to use the leaflet library for CSS and JS to have the map with a beautiful look. So these are to enqueue the libraries. This is to enqueue the created file in the JS folder. I created an array to store all the data about the locations. This is the query to get data from the wanted post type. This is the ID of the post type of the restaurants that I'm using. There will be multiple posts, since there are multiple locations. So we have a loop here. These are the associative array, to get data of each element of the location. This function is to get data from the custom fields. These are the ID of the fields. This will return values from the location field, that is the OpenStreetMap. They include the latitude and longitude. This is to get the title of the post. It's also the restaurant name. This is to get the address in text from the address field. This is to get the icon for the marker. All of that data will be transferred to the created array. This is to pass the values from this array to a JavaScript object that has this name. We'll use this object in the created JS file to display all the locations on the map. For now, we just get the data and haven't displayed them yet. Next, go to the created JS file to add code. This is to get data from the created JavaScript object. When someone goes to the page and looks at the map for the first time, the map should be fixed at a specific point. So, I created that point. This point will be regulated based on the first set of values in the stored value string. This is to set the options for the map. The center point of the map shows for the first time. When a user looks at it, it will be set as the first location. This is to initialize the map. It also means to display the map. The map will be displayed in the place where this HTML ID was set. We did it in the PHP file for the page template. The map will have settings as the options as we set. This is to set a tile layer and copyright for the map. This is the main part of this practice. It's to show all the markers on the map at once. This is a loop to get all the data from this object. I created two variables to store the data about each location. Then transfer all of them to this variable. This variable is the one we use to initialize the map. It means that we finished adding markers to the map. To have a pop-up to show the detailed information of each marker, when clicked on each one, I have this. Now, go to the page on the front end. If nothing goes wrong, here's what you'll see. For each marker, display a pop-up when click on the icon of each restaurant. This pop-up will show the title and address of the restaurant in detail. In the case that you don't want to touch the theme files, let's go ahead to see another way with MB Views. Go to Views in MetaBox and create a new template for the created page. I'm going to add code to this template tab. The code will be quite the same as what we added in both PHP files in the first method. I also show the code we added in the first way, for you to easily follow. This is to register the leaflet CSS library. This is to display the map. We also use JavaScript later and use this ID of the map. We have this line to query data from the restaurant post type. And we use this function to get posts. I'm also creating a new empty array to get data about the location from each post. You can name this array as any name as you want. And then, have a loop to get data from all the posts and assign them to the array. These are the data we're getting from posts. They are saved in some field of the post, so we will insert a corresponding field for each one of them. Click on this button and choose a field from the list. The longitude is the data saved in the OpenStreetMap field. It is named location, so choose it. There is a setting here to choose the output data. Just choose longitude. We should remove the curly braces here. Do likewise for the latitude. Remember that these data are compulsory to locate a position on the map. For the address, it's in a text field, so just choose it. The title is from the post title. And we also have a field for marker icons, so choose it. You can see that there is not much difference in code between the two methods. In the first method, WordPress has this function to convert data from PHP to JavaScript. But with MB Views, we do not use it. Instead of that, we use this HTML class and transfer all the values from this array to the class. This is to declare the Leaflet JavaScript library. That's all for the template. Now, move to the JavaScript tab and use the code that we use in the JS file in the first way. Since we use HTML class to store data, I have this to get them. All the following lines of code are exactly the same with the script we use in the JS file in the first method. So, I'll not dig into them anymore. Go to the Settings section of the view. Set the type as singular. Then add a rule. Set the location as the created page. Go to the page. The map and all the markers also displayed. So, what do you think about both of these two methods? And which one do you prefer to use? Let us know and share your applications. That's the end of today's tutorial. If you want to learn more about how to play around with MetaBox, please watch other tutorials on this channel. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to us for more tutorials. Bye.